Okay, this video is a response to a Facebook comment on the Committee for the State of Palestine Facebook group by one James Lingwall. James, your post is very disingenuous. I'm an apostate from the Baha'i faith, the hyphen part of it, but it's all pretty much the same. Um, and your post is just plain out of line in the first place because this was a post, the post was started by someone else asking, well, just what's this specific group for? Especially since Waleed, who started the group, also has an American Solidarity with Palestine group as well. People wanted to know how this was different, and he said, quite honestly, that that's a fair question, and that this is for organizing a potential government if if need be for when a lot of the Palestinian diaspora is able to return. Now, despite the fact that he's welcomed everybody in who kind of wants to be in to show their support, as a white American, which you are too, we have no right telling them what to do. Yeah, we can give ideas and suggestions and seem to be open to that, but we don't have any right. So when you tell him, don't waste your time with those sort of questions, you're just out of line. Further, you say that there's a state already there. Now, obviously, okay, yes, there are groups there forming their own Palestinian governments as best they can. What kind of shape they'll be in when the diaspora is finally able to return, who knows? And so I don't necessarily think that what Waleed is doing is trying to take over necessarily, but it's a very fair question, and a very necessary consideration is what happened. They returned to, kind of a rubble heap, and where there isn't much of a government left, and they have to find a way to organize society, and how that intermixes with whatever Palestinians are still left who stayed there the whole time is an internal affair that we as white Americans have no fucking part in and shouldn't. So, and what was most egregious is that your claim is you basically, when I actually looked at your links and saw some things on your page, is that you actually think that some version of a Baha'i Universal House of Justice is and or should be the government there. And that's a bunch of shit that doesn't make you a whole lot different from the fucking Zionists. Yes, I do salute you for calling out the brutal genocide of the Zionists. Way to go. I agree. But when you start saying, if anything, one of the big Zionist ploys was that they were going to go in and create a nice progressive state and all that bullshit, which they didn't do. So you're not any better. Further, you're trying to say that the Baha'i faith was okay. The hyphen organization was okay up until the passing of Shoghi Rabbani, and you're accusing the hands of the cause, who he appointed all of, of basically doing a 180. And that just isn't true, okay? Sorry, dude, but the Baha'i faith was a hijacking of the Babi movement, and Mirza Hussein Ali, aka Baha'u'llah, actually reached out to the Rothschilds himself. He was in on the Zionist scam from the very beginning. Okay? Abdul Baha got a fucking knighthood from the British Empire because he was on their side. That's what Zionism is. It's not an inherently Jewish thing. Okay? It's just hijacking Judaism. All right? It's a capitalist imperialist project that masquerades under the name of Judaism. But there's a lot of Jews who don't like the Zionists very much, and for good reason. Okay, so when you're obscuring, okay, the real history of the Baha'is who were Zionists from the get-go, trying to say that they were just taken over by the Zionists, in what that would have been. That would have been like starting in the late 50s when Chogi Rabbani passed. No, they were in on it from the beginning, and I've gone into this on other videos and things on my channel. So yeah, and so I can't help but look at what you're doing as, although not genocidal like what the Israeli government is doing, is every bit as imperialist and colonial in ideology, because you're trying to say that a foreign entity, the Universal House of Justice, with or without, and in your case with, an executive, what the hyphen behind is called a guardian, that somehow that makes it the legitimate government of Palestine. No, it doesn't. That's up to the Palestinian people and the Palestinian people alone. All you're doing is, I think, trying to use this group to promote your sect of Baha'ism, which has been Zionist from the very beginning, even if your particular sect has turned against that. Sorry. Baha'u'llah, Abdul Baha, and Shoghi Effendi were Zionists through and through from the fucking beginning. That's a fact. You can look at what they actually said. Okay? And, in a sense, your comment and the other things I've seen on your page are every bit as, you're kind of actually helping out the Zionists, because you're spreading just the way the Zionists do and just the way the hyphen Baha'is do. You're trying to make this about religion, and it's not. It's about settler colonialism. And Waleed has said in another post on this group that anti-Semitic comments are not, because it's not, because there are Jews who are on the side of Palestine, and we need them. Okay, and some of the rhetoric on your page is outright anti-Semitic, trying to conflate Zionism and Judaism, and it wasn't. And it isn't. Okay, that's just Zionist propaganda that the Baha'is, hyphen, and apparently the various schism sects like yourself have all bought into.